Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another evening of Lady Bears basketball. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, belated Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas to the Russian Orthodox who just celebrated, I think, yesterday. I think that's everything, John.
You got them all, Jim. Good job.
And an early Happy New Year's to everyone here at the Boyertown Area Senior High School, where tonight your Lady Bears are playing host to the Bulldogs from Wilson High School out Reading Way. And the girls are coming off a jump ball friendly, I hear, John, game against Fleetwood recently. And coming off a victory is never a bad thing.
No, never a bad thing for the Lady Bears. And was as I was doing the broadcast a couple days ago, was joking that man, there's a lot of jump balls and a lot of fouls, but that's how it was for the Lady Bears in their other victory that you and I did earlier this season against, I believe it was Daniel Boone.
Yep.
Maybe there was a time in the first quarter when the Lady Bears just said, you know what, we are just going to start pressuring, and they did. They found success with it. They got Daniel Boone and then Fleetwood 2 nights ago out of their rhythm, and they were able to capitalize. Now, when you get into a situation like that, when you're pressing and you're playing at a high tempo, you tend to make some mistakes yourself, which the Lady Bears need to work through. But you're right, coming off a big win against Fleetwood here, Wilson, a very solid team. I'm sure they're looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah, I was just about to say I don't obviously derelict in my duties of scouting opponents here. It seems like we've had a lot of Berks County opponents this year on both the boys and the girls side. And I know absolutely nothing about this Wilson Bulldog girls basketball team, but one thing about Wilson, it seems that regardless of the sport, they're going to field a decent team.
Yeah, and that is true, regardless of the sport. And really, if you look at, and my wife, Mrs. Kaleda.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that connection.
Mrs. Kaleda to the Wilson students and people who are listening who teaches high school math. I do get a chance to go visit Wilson once in a while, and just looking at what they put into their athletics program, you would expect them to have solid teams. That weight room could be good for Kutztown University football. I mean, that turf field they have out there for football, and good solid baseball field. It's off campus, but still some solid facilities there. So, certainly they have a reason why they are solid in many sports.
So we'll see what the Lady Bears can do tonight. We're at the right, little bit past the midpoint. Well, actually, a lot past the midpoint of our holiday break. I've been seeing a lot of stuff online about the times during break where you really don't know what day it is. And
oh, yeah.
You really don't know what's going on, and we're at that point. But it is Friday. It is December 29th, and we're going to pause here for the anthem and starting lineups, and we'll be back with the tip here on the NFHS Network and YouTube Boyertown Athletics Network. Starting lineups are done, and John, the word of the night is youth. You announced 4 of the 5 starters for Wilson as sophomores.
Correct.
2 of the 5 starters for Boyertown as freshmen. This is going to be a youth-filled, fun game.
Serious youth movement. I mean, Wilson, talking to some folks before the game, they're coming in with only 1 loss. I mean, this is not just a rebuilding year for Wilson. Certainly, they're looking to do something if their record is what it is. And for the Lady Bears, you're kind of seeing progression throughout the year, just like you would hope in a season like this with all this youth. So you are right. A lot of youthful players out there right now.
Boyertown wins the tip, and Wilson quickly coming out in some aggressive defense forces the turnover. And I looked down at my list as well. I did not see heights listed, but it looks like 3 of those 4 Wilson girls at least 5'10".
Yes, Hauk, who has the ball right now, is pushing 6 foot down there. Yes, they have some bodies.
There's a corner 3-pointer there from Wilson is no good, and they're going to keep possession under the basket.
Tough to fault the effort there from Wolf. When you're there, go get the ball. You're taught to go get it. Probably could have let it go out of bounds. However, ball don't lie, they say, as the Bears are going to get rewarded and they're going to get the ball.
Haven't seen, we usually mention this at least once every girls' game. Have not seen size like that on a team since Boyertown assistant Allie Bauman.
Mm-hmm.
Maria Garfolo and Abby Capp led the way for the Boyertown Bears on their way to a state title. Boyertown doing some work underneath the basket. Long 3-pointer to open the game, and it is good from Madeline Weaver. 3-0 Boyertown.
Nice ball movement there from Boyertown. Just patient, and they were in the right spots. Great opening set for the Lady Bears.
Here comes their aggressive defense here. They're in a zone trying to disrupt Wilson like you were talking there in the pregame, but here's another 3-pointer from Wilson, and that is good. That's Layla Jones. She answers Weaver with her own 3. We're tied up, 6.5 to go in the first.
I'm happy to see the Lady Bears coming out and doing some sort of pressure, even if it's half court here. I think that they are a team that they have some athletes. Why not, why not just go ahead and see if you can't get some turnovers? Whoever you're playing, doesn't matter.
That's going to stay with Boyertown. Able to get the ball up to the timeline. A little bit of trouble getting past there. But they'll keep possession. Early substitution here for the Bulldogs as McKenna Peacock checks into the game for Wilson. Here's the freshman Tessa Wolf, gives it over to Madeline Weaver. She puts up another 3. That's a little bit long. Good position on the opposite weak side board there for Peacock. She's able to come down with the rebound. Wow. How did that pass?
I mean, Greaves was there.
I don't know how it happened.
Her hand was right there. I thought to myself as the play was developing, go ahead, try it. Somehow it snuck in there. Great pass. Good look.
Beautiful, beautiful pass. That's going to put Laura Cracona to the line to convert. That's long. They're going to get that. Didn't hit the rim, so Boyertown's going to get it under the basket. And Coach Whiteford's going to call timeout here, down 2 early. See, it looks like it's going to be Boyertown being able to handle the pressure right around mid-court that Wilson's throwing out there in the full court.
And that's 100%, Jim. That's what Coach Whiteford's going over right now. And they've been traditionally trying to use a 3-man backcourt to attack any sort of kind of half-court, three-quarter court pressure, which is fine. It allows you to make that reverse pass a little bit easier, but that means that you have got to be very active in the middle of the floor, and you got to have girls like Greaves and Wolf finding that open area right by that bare head, looking opposite and making that pass to try to make sure they can beat this pressure.
Here they go, bringing it up, seeing if they can do something here against this 1-2-2. There's what you need to do. Get it to the middle, look opposite. They were able to break it, see if they can set up. They find Tessa Wolf inside. She's going to take it in. Kicking it out. Set 3-pointers, no good. Greaves with the rebound on the weak side. Great job there by Isla Greaves.
And great job, obviously, by the coaching staff at Boyertown. They obviously set up that play right there and told Greaves and Wolf, just like we said, be available out there. Be available. Wolf did flash a little bit harder to that ball. She got it, made a nice pass, and ended up in a nice look for Greaves down low.
Wilson misses another three-pointer. So Boyertown's going to have another opportunity in their half-court set. They've had some early success here. There's a weak back door. I didn't want to say it was a weak back door, weak side back door.
And in that offense that they run, that kind of swing, flex-ish offense, you're going to get that. Now, you might not get it on that first cut, but as that defense wears down a little bit, they get out of position, then you're going to find that backdoor cut. So would have loved to see the Bears, try to get one more ball reversal in there. But, again, young team, kind of learning how many ball reversals it takes.
Wilson able to get it inside. They look opposite. Leaves one of their Bulldogs wide open. I believe that was Peacock, and it was. Her first two of the game. Boyertown have a little bit more trouble with this pressure here.
Ooh, and and we've talked about this. Was it you who said you'd like to see that half-court clock stay at whatever time was? That's going to get reset. So bailed out, the Lady Bears are. As they get a fresh 10 seconds to get that.
And that was
across.
because of a foul. If that was just knocked out of bounds, I don't think it would reset. There was a foul call against Wilson on that one.
Right.
Nice look. Wilson pressuring. Ooh. Good idea, just unable to handle that entry pass. Boyertown's early defense doing a nice job with some of their pressure. Wilson able to find some open shots. Defensive rebound, Boyertown. They're going the other way. Tessa Wolf on the board. Lady Bears down 2 early. A little more than halfway through the first quarter. Boyertown really showing some patience here on these half-court sets. Weaver's going to go baseline. Ooh, not sure if she was trying to shoot that, if she went the other way. This three is definitely a shot. That's long.
Get it. Not a girl.
And Tessa Wolf ends up with it.
Looked like she was going to try and Dr. J it and then said, I'm just going to pass it, and it worked out.
Yes, that was very Julius Irving-like. And she made the right decision.
She did.
Tessa Wolf trying to do something with it, make some happen. She's going to be triple teamed. Throws it off a Bulldog, and they'll get the basket underneath.
I'm very impressed here with the Lady Bears' aggressiveness, with their intensity. It's the same intensity that they came out with the other night against Fleetwood. And let's be honest, the girls and you as an athlete, you know who you're playing. You know that Fleetwood coming into the game the other night only had one win. You know that Wilson coming into this game, from what we've heard, only has one loss. You know that sort of stuff. Good for the Lady Bears for not backing down. Good for the coaching staff for saying, you know what, we're going to come out and try and punch you in the mouth and do some pressure and aggressive things in a half-court set. Good for the ladies who are playing their tails off right now and not backing down. This is the kind of basketball you want to see from a team as youthful as this.
And we'll see what they can do here, see if they have an opportunity here to tie it up with exactly 3 minutes to go in the first quarter with an under-the-basket inbounds. That's going to be knocked out of bounds. They're going to get another chance. They're in a box. And I'm predicting Weaver is going to get a three-pointer from the corner.
What do you think?
And there it is. And it's going to be long.
Yep.
And she's going to get a foul.
A good look. A good look.
Oh, great look.
America's
Absolutely.
play right there. You know it's coming. Somehow you can't defend it. Who knows why?
Early on, Wilson's getting open there on the low block. This time it was Violet Hauk.
That's just a simple rotation right there. If you're going to double, that means somebody on the backside needs to rotate over and get off her girl. The Bears are just a little bit late with it.
Wilson double teaming here. They're going to get a jump ball. Boyertown's going to keep it.
on those traps up top, guards have got to be available, and then posts have got to be available as well. You need at least two people flash into that ball, and you can't just kind of watch and hope that your guard gets out of it. It needs to be a quick flash, a call, and if you're not open, get out, let the next person come in, just like that.
They heard you, John. Maybe the key to success is we get another open layup on the low block for Wilson. I think all but their three-pointer has been scored from the same exact spot on the court. We're going to get a timeout here. Maybe the key to success is the number of coaches. Wilson has 6 coaches over there. They have almost a 1-to-1 ratio for the players on the bench.
You know, and if I'm not mistaken, Christopher Gallo was the coach of Schuylkill Valley and boys, either when I was playing or when we were coaching with the boys back.
So he must be ancient.
Well, geez, oh man, to any Gallo family members listening, we're sorry to mention that. But
that was more a rip on John than it was on anyone else.
Well, then, yeah. The Kaledas watching, they know that. But you know, from his connections there, now you come here. I'm sure there are people looking to give back to the Wilson girls basketball program who have been involved for years. I mean, when you are a coach who's you know been at a couple of places and you're successful as Coach Gallo has been, you're gonna have people who want to help out. So, yeah, lots of coaches there. And still for us, you've got the Baumans who are looking to come back and give back to this program, who've had success with it. So it's always neat to see what faces show up for the coaching staffs each year.
Another turnover. Boyertown able to handle the pressure, getting it across the timeline, but having a little bit of trouble getting their half-court offense started the past 2 trips down the court. See what they can do here in a 2-3. Wilson goes inside again. That shot's no good. Great hustle there from Tessa Wolf, ripping that rebound down. Isla Greaves will hand it off to Weaver. She's going to drive. It's going to get knocked away. Wilson's going to run. They're going to have to pull it out.
Hey.
Good recovery there that time from the Lady Bears.
Yeah, there was that little rotation there. Greaves was probably a step up into that elbow area, kind of stepped down on that drive, made that tip. Good job by her to kind of reset that defense now.
1:15 to go in the first quarter. 6-point lead being held by the Bulldogs. Aggressive there. Nice little baseline jump shot. Wide open rebound. And Wilson quickly up 8.
Yeah, it's got to be a quick decision there from your guards right there. I mean, Greaves was open, and a quick pass out of that trap would have had Greaves there, who then has her own decision to make, either go to the bucket, look to pass to somebody who's cutting down the middle, whether it be Weaver or Wolf. So quick decisions from the guards is what's needed here to kind of make this pressure go away.
Inside to Wolf. Ooh. Tries to kick it back out to Weaver, and we're going to have another jump ball. John, is this rivaling the Fleetwood game?
No, not. We were triple this by this point. Speaking about youthful players, this is going to be interesting and neat to see these young Lady Bears develop right there. Right there for Tessa Wolf. She's a freshman right now, has a lot more basketball in her life to be played. I mean, right there, she gets the ball on that block. In a couple of years, it's going to be a drop step and a little left-hand baby hook right there. Might not have that in her game right now, but that's something you practice. It's something you work on. You look at the film here and say, hey, what kind of situation do we have right here? This is a good chance for this move. You go work on it, and you get good at it.
Similar to what I'm trying to do with my smoking brisket and different things in the backyard. I study it. I practice it. Great entry pass. We're going to go to the line there for Tessa Wolf. No, I'm sorry, Greaves. Excuse me.
It's funny the different stages of our lives, the things that we care about perfecting, Jim, isn't it? You know,
Absolutely.
like I always had the perfect jump shot. I didn't have to work too hard at that, but I cared about it when I was in high school. You know, and now you're right. Now it's how am I gonna cook this steak? How am I gonna season the new black stone griddle that
Absolutely.
Santa brought for me here? There's a lot of things.
Nice. Nice. You'll definitely get into some holiday presents. I got a wonderful Smoker's Bible from my daughter. Very much looking forward to putting that to good use. 8.2 seconds left. Good job
Oh,
by
wow.
Wilson. And there's that spot. Violet Hauk, the recipient this time. We're going to go into the second quarter. Boyertown down 9, 15 to 6.
Would have loved to see them keep that at 13 to 6. It just looks a little different than 15 to 6, doesn't it? And really, what the Lady Bears need to make sure they're doing here, as gosh, number 2 who just broke that.
Violet Hauk.
Oh no, it was sorry, Jones. As Jones or whoever the guard is who breaks down the Lady Bear guarding her, it's that girl in the middle, right, who's stepping up. I'm not sure who it was there, but it's got to be that downside defender. In that case, it was Greaves. You have to read it quick. You have to take that step in. You have to make them pass the ball out and take that little 10-footer instead of getting that layup. So again, something that Coach Weisberg can talk about right here is if we get broken down, remember, it's not just one level of help. You need 2 or 3 levels of help. Everybody's got to be working. It's a 5-man defense you got to be running.
We'll see what they can do coming in here to the second quarter down 9. Wilson will have the ball to start the second. And if we had a nickel for every time we said this, John, get a stop here on the first possession. It's huge because 9 looks a lot better than 11.
Stop in a bucket.
Or 12.
We should go back and track how many times we've said stop in a bucket and it actually occurred. Can't be a lot because we just I feel like we are like the ultimate jinx up here.
And there's the stop.
Here we go.
See what Boyertown can do here as Wilson looks like they're coming out in a man-to-man. And the Lady Bears are going to run their motion offense. That's going to leave Weaver wide open for a 3.
There you go.
Good job by Greaves. Boy, I'm really impressed with Layla Jones up top here for Wilson. She's got some right on cue. Second three-pointer of the game.
And she has these long steps. It almost looks like a travel, but it's not. She's just very long with these steps she takes to get into her shot, which just creates some space for her. You know, obviously that's something that she's worked on in practice. That's like a WNBA thing she's doing.
She's a very smooth player out there.
Yeah, smooth. Yeah.
Weaver tries for a 3. That's blocked by Hauk. Long arms from Wilson coming into play there. And we're going to have Layla Jones going to the line shooting 2. Thought we had an opportunity there for our first Eddie Higgins. Unfortunately, that foul goes against Madeline.
The girls have one, or the boys have one this year at charge. Might be the boys.
I think the boys have one.
That was crazy a couple years ago. Higgins had, he averaged more charges a game, I think, than rebounds. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 charges a game.
Makes the first, misses a second, does Jones, but Wilson able to get the offensive rebound. Weaver's able to disrupt that pass. They're going to come back the other way this time, down 13. And Coach Swifert's going to call a full timeout to see if we can set something up to stop this bleeding, get their first points of the quarter a minute and a half in.
Yeah, the shot that Weaver got 2 possessions ago, it's a good shot. It was within the offense. I think she kind of tried to force that one in the previous possession here. And the Bears are probably going to have to look for something more going to the basket and try and get something going down low before they start just jacking up three-pointers here. So hopefully Coach Schweitzer drawing something up that's going to get the Lady Bears going to the basket. Maybe a little and one would be nice right about now. Get some momentum back on their side.
So we'll see if they can do that. So a flat top for Christmas.
Yeah, and we already have the Weber grill out back. I mean, yeah. I might rent our kitchen out in the spring and summer. We're not going to need it. I can do anything all I got to do, my Italian wife, whose cooking is phenomenal. Pasta is about 3/4 of what we eat. It's a part of a lot of dishes. If I can figure out how to boil a tub of water on these things, we're golden. We don't need the kitchen. We'll just sell the stove.
My brother-in-law is a was a recipient of a one of those flat tops and is very often talking about the wonderful fajitas. I think is his favorite thing to make on there right now.
Interesting.
More pressure man-to-man from Wilson. They're
Ooh.
coming out with a double team. There's the quick hands of Jones. That layup's too long. But right there is another Bulldog for the rebound. And that is Jaslyn Moncada, her first 2 of the game. Good drive from Boyertown. That's a little bit short. Wilson's pressure now and speed starting to get to Boyertown a little bit. Another beautiful pass down low to Hauk.
We're gonna talk about Jones again there. That was how many dribbles do you think it took her to go end to end right there? Not end to end, but she went from rebound to about volleyball line there. How many dribbles?
Not many.
3. Took her 3 dribbles to get there. She's just very smooth and long, and it's tough to contain a player like that, isn't it?
And there's great defense by her too, getting through that screen, getting to it. But here's Greaves on the floor.
Nice hustle.
And here comes Jones the other way. A little stutter step, directing the offense. She's going to find Hauk inside. Who's going to kick it out. Rotate all the way over to Joe. Quick pass back to Moncada. Wilson finally able to get something set up here.
So, looking at, I talked about Greaves, the other possession, coming over to help. Right there she did. It wasn't even her side of the floor, but she read it. She came over, gave the help when needed, and might have been her to tip that ball out of bounds right there. So, like we said earlier, it's neat to see these girls who are the young basketball players progress, and obviously they were talking to Isla and said, hey, make sure you're doing this, and she did it. Good for her.
A few subs in for Boyertown now.
Lara Morrell, who played a lot of minutes in the Fleetwood game the other day. Addison Sinclair out there as well. 31's Callie Weber.
Three-pointer there is no good from Jones. That's going to go out of bounds, and Boyertown's going to get it back. Still waiting for their first points here in the second quarter. Certainly not for a lack of effort, as we always say about these Lady Bears.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to leave Coach Swifert with 1 timeout the rest of the way.
Just take them. Just take the timeouts and make sure you're teaching. And this is, it also does something for your psyche when you go into a huddle, you call something, you run it well, and you get something positive from it, and that gives you something good to look on in tape. This gives you something, if something goes wrong with the play, you go back to it and say, hey, what did we call? Make sure that we're getting to our positions. What do you need to make sure you're doing here, and focus. I mean, it's not a bad thing at the point in the season where the Lady Bears are at, where it's a learning, couple of games here that they have coming up here. So go ahead, call the timeouts and make sure you're using these to try to teach your girls something.
You have a gut feeling in the second half we're going to get a technical foul called against Coach Swifert for trying to take an opportunity to do some coaching here for these girls.
Why not? I think as a coach, that's like a badge of honor. That's a story you tell at the New Year's Eve party. Like, hey, do you know I called a timeout the other day? Didn't have one left. No, yeah, totally did it. What'd they say to you? Couldn't say anything. I wanted to do it. Oh, it's kind of makes it seem tough. I like it.
Great pick by Sinclair there. They're finding Haycock in the corner. Weaver with a long 3. That one goes down. There you go, John. I'm coming around to the timeout. Does something for the psyche.
There you go. But you can't.
And right away, there's Jones to Hauk.
Yeah. However, that wasn't stopping a bucket right there. It would have been great to get a defensive stand right there, and then use that good 3-pointer to get back a couple of points.
Unable to convert, but an offensive rebound for the Bulldogs. That's going to leave open. Ooh. She just sees the floor really well, doesn't she?
She does.
Found myself adding names to the list. It was Ryan Lehman in the game for Wilson. And this is Kayliana Hardy at the line who converted the first. Unable to get the second. Weaver with the rebound. Boyertown's going to try to cut into this 26-9 lead. It's going to go back the Bulldog way. Your Blackstone flat top griddle, and one of Max's presents. I didn't think it was possible, but he's learned how to cheat in Candyland.
How do you cheat in Candyland? He's like hiding cards up his sleeve?
He keeps slipping cards until he gets the ice cream cone that sends him all the way to the top.
I will say yes. That card doesn't seem fair. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's been fun. We're getting at the 8. Ooh, there's a hard foul that doesn't get called that time, but that one does. That'll be on the floor. He's at the age now where you've got some fun board games. The aforementioned Candyland. He got one. I don't know if you recall the Hi-Ho Cheerio.
Yes, I remember. Hi-Ho Cheerio. I would say we are very old school as well. We have some newer board games, but we do make sure that we have the ones from our childhood. The girls love Forbidden Bridge.
Oh, I don't know if I know that one.
Ooh, it's a good one. You have to set up a bridge. It's this rickety plastic thing. You have explorers trying to get little tiny diamonds that inevitably get lost in the rug and the carpet. And then you press this little idol, and it shakes the bridge, and they fall off, and everybody laughs, and it's thousands of dollars for Mattel.
We got one that's been fun. It's similar to Don't Break the Ice, if you're familiar with that game.
We have that one, yep.
This is called Yeti on the Spaghetti. It's basically.
Are you trying to knock over the Yeti?
No, yeah, you're. It's basically the same thing as Tessa Wolf doing everything she can to get up a shot. And they're going to call her for a walk. Would have liked to give her a little bit for the effort there.
Yep.
No, it's a bowl, and then it's these plastic pipes that look like spaghetti noodles, and you lay the spaghetti over the bowl, and then you stick the Yeti on top of it, and you pull the spaghetti one at a time, and whoever gets the Yeti to fall into the bowl loses.
Sounds like Kerplunk.
Yes, it's very similar to Kerplunk. Very similar to Kerplunk.
We have no stock in Mattel, by the way. You and me. We're not doing this for a reason.
Yeah. Wilson working it around. Comfortable lead here in the second quarter.
Good defense there, good D.
Great defense, and there's going to be loose, and we're going to get another foul call. Boyertown will keep it. Still holding on to that 1 3-pointer this quarter. They got 2 minutes left to cut into this 17-point Wilson Bulldog lead. Lady Bears able to handle a little bit more of the pressure, but again, right on cue. There's Layla Jones and those long arms poking it away. And she's going to get called for a foul.
Ooh. I don't know about that. The ball went out of bounds. I think usually that's a play where you just kind of let that go. That's interesting they gave her the foul.
Boyertown will take it. And they'll keep possession. Ball got away from Haycock a little bit there. She'll take it out right in front of coach number 6 on the bench for Wilson. Coach number 6 moving right to left from the booth.
It does look like an NBA bench, doesn't it? I mean, have you seen those games? There's about 20 people from the announcers on over. The players aren't even close to the floor. They're tucked in the corner there.
Yeah, they don't even see the game. Good attempt at an entry pass there from Haycock at the other end of the court. Unfortunately, Shimakunis was setting the screen. Laura Corcona converts her first foul shot of the game. Unable to get the second. Falls into Tessa Wolf's hands. Less than a minute to go in the half. Baseline shot, back of the backboard's no good. Again, falls right into. And there is Callie Weber. 2 field goals for Boyertown this quarter, 2 3-pointers.
Right place at the right time for Weaver. Good job by her and Wolf to not give up on that play.
Seconds to go. Boyertown desperately needs a stop here. Almost from Haycock that time. Like to see a trap there used. Dribble. Wilson definitely seems like they're waiting for one shot. Under 10. Good hands by Weaver, but that drive's going to get it into the low block. Good defense there from Wolf. Got to hold on for 6 more seconds, does Boyertown.
Good job.
Inside, and that was a beautiful job.
How did she get that ball? Are you kidding me?
Shimakun is exactly where she needs to be.
And Coach Schweisfert's talking about this. Wait a minute. There is no possible way that anybody for Wilson had the ball inbounds right there. And they're like, what? Jeez.
All 3 Boyertown coaches trying to get some understanding of what happened at the end of the half there.
Geez.
So, John, before that basket, that phantom 2-pointer from Violet Hauk,
Jones the magician. We got to give her like a nickname or something.
Absolutely. But before that, it's 17 now. 15 sounds a lot better than 17.
Right.
For only scoring 2 field goals in the quarter, and for Wilson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, scoring 5 field goals in the quarter, being down 15 doesn't sound bad. No,
and it's been the effort of the Lady Bears to kind of throw a little monkey wrench into maybe, let's say a third of Wilson's possessions here. They kind of look at a sorts a little bit, and that's because of what the Lady Bears are able to do with their aggressive pressure. They kind of got away from that and just went to a more standard 2-3 zone, which did allow Wilson to just kind of miss some shots on their own, and then they were able to get a couple of rebounds here. But you're right. I mean, it's not gotten away from Boyertown so far yet that they're out of this game. I mean, they honestly, if they make a couple of 3-pointers here, or just a couple of baskets to start the third quarter, and get a couple of stops, that's all we're asking for. Stop bucket, stop bucket. It could be timeout time for Wilson. So the Lady Bears are still very much in this game, and it's due to that effort that they're showing on that defensive end, just trying to keep themselves in it.
We'll see what they can do here in the second half. Down big, but as we said, certainly not out of it. Only one timeout left in the back pocket for Coach Schweifert. We'll see what he can do with that one. We'll be back in about, we'll say, 7 minutes for the second half here on the NFHS Network. We are back under a minute to go in halftime. The teams are going back to their benches. And the schedule on the board is incorrect. Mr. Palladino, if you're listening, you got to get up here and change that. So we'll see what we can do if we can find a schedule for you to let you know the upcoming games.
We do. I got it here. So,
there we go.
So Tuesday, January 2nd, the boys. I mean, it's right away this packed schedule. Tuesday, January 2nd, the boys are going against Spring Ford. We'll have that here for you. On Thursday, nope, nothing Thursday. Sorry, Friday the 5th, the girls are taking on Norristown. That's all next week.
So Tuesday and Friday of next week. Boys Tuesday.
Friday. Boys Tuesday, girls
Friday. Boyertown will get the ball to start the second half here. They are down 17, 29-12. 4 timeouts for Wilson, 1 for Boyertown. And no team fouls with, obviously. Kind of stupid to call that one out, but reading the board, and that's what it says. Which I keep telling myself as Haycock tries one from right in front of the bench. That's no good. Good weak side board from Greaves. They're going to find Wolf. Haycock should try again, does not. Able to find Weaver, and Boyertown's going to set again. I keep forgetting with the new streaming, the entire scoreboard is right there in the corner.
Yeah, it's nice. This is this new setup. Once we figured it, we had some difficulties the first couple of weeks, but once we figured it out, it seems like it's working well.
Yeah, difficulties meaning you forgot to turn it on.
I mean, I didn't have to say that. People could have thought that it was something with like the Wi-Fi, but yes, night 1, the microphone wasn't on, my fault. Night 2, the camera wasn't on, my fault. So we'll just throw that out there.
So we've learned that if you turn things on, they work.
I was so nervous that I said to myself, I'm going to list. I have it right here. I said I'm going to write down all these steps here so I don't forget it because I was so flustered that night. It's 3 things here, Jim. It says press streaming button, turn on mic, turn on camera. Why can't I just remember that?
Well, you're probably going to remember it right at the last game. That's usually how that works. Wilson getting chance after chance. She stepped out of bounds.
She did.
The referee was able to see that. And we're going to go the other way. Early on, no score in second half. Coming up, no New Year's Eve plans, John, right?
To be in bed by 9?
Yeah, that's. We were joking before the game at halftime. John and I both are. We get a nice pass from Greaves inside to Haycock that goes off of a knee. Boyertown will keep it. We're at the stage in our lives where it's 9:30 p.m. bedtimes on New Year's Eve and appliances for Christmas presents. Not because you want to buy them, but because you have to.
Correct.
Weaver, corner 3, no good. See, this is the washer is an acceptable purchase there, John. Still doesn't excuse you. There's great defense there from Wolf, able to stand her ground. Still does not excuse you from the vacuum purchase a number of years ago.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
The vacuum that we got, the most recent vacuum that I got my wife, the 3rd vacuum, is kind of not working real well. There might be a 4th vacuum in our future. But Abby did look at me and say, please don't make it a gift this time. Just go get me a vacuum. I said, okay, honey.
You know, Valentine's Day is only a month and a half away.
Listen, honey, you can't vacuum the house for a month and a half. This is going to be your Valentine's gift.
Oh, that looked like a walk. They did not call it. There's an offensive rebound for Wilson, and they're going to go to the line to shoot 2. Wilson still showing success there on the low block. They certainly has been the point of contention for them. Certainly a high percentage shot.
Boyertown has been plugging up that lane though, and we said this a little bit in the first half. They're stopping. You know, if they do get beat out front, which is going to happen. My God, that's basketball. But if they get beat, they have that first level of help coming to plug things up. It's that second and third level that they're working on getting, which they kind of have gotten here and there. But they're certainly not they're not letting Wilson just drive middle coast to coast. They're making him make passes. They just got to get that next level of help.
Wilson back in their offensive set. Weaver was there that time with it, able to disrupt Jones's pass. Can't convert on the layup. Jones going to come back the other way. She's going to drive it all the way to the foul line jump shot, and that goes in. That's 9 for Jones. If I was keeping track of assists, she probably has just as many of those.
Yep.
And Wilson back in there man-to-man. That's going to leave an open three-pointer for Weaver. That's going to be short, but Wolf is there for the rebound. She'll get called for steps in the corner. Bulldogs will take it the other way. Great play there by Layla Jones.
The ability to kind of hang in the air and create that contact is not something that every basketball player has. And really, I don't know if it's anything that you can teach. It's just this kind of innate thing, I think, that some ball players have. And Jones obviously has it there. She was able to take that dribble in, kind of Euro step-ish her way through. And like I said, she went up in the air. There was no contact made. Somehow she hung there and just kind of created it and got that in one.
I'm going to make a prediction here, John, and I'm going to say that when the All-Berks team comes out, good defense there from Wilson, when the All-Berks team comes out for girls basketball at the end of this season, junior Amaya Stewart from Wyomissing will be on it, and sophomore Layla Jones from Wilson will be on it.
As she drains a three-pointer.
As if on
right
cue. She now has 15. You were not at the Wyomissing game.
No.
We spoke about her. She and Amaya Stewart and now Layla Jones are two of the more quality players I've seen come in to visit Boyertown so far this year. A little bit too ahead of herself that time. A couple more substitutes checking into the game from both sides. 3:07 left to go in the third quarter. John, do you do a New Year's Eve, special New Year's Eve dinner?
We have...
Maybe on the blacktop? Since the weather's going to be beautiful.
We talked about that. We said it might be a Moyer's steak night. We've done wings before. It's not necessarily a grill Blackstone, but we've done wings. Actually, our most memorable New Year's Eve was we did wings in the air fryer. Good steal by Weaver. Jones again. We did wings, and then went to go, I guess, put the girls to bed, came down, and our dog, Leia, our 90-pound black lab, had eaten all the bones of the leftover wings. So there we are, ringing in the new year by making sure our dog ate some bread soaked in peroxide and puked all over our backyard to get the bones up.
There you go.
Which was only rivaled by our Christmas Eve a year before that, where we had put a pound of dark chocolate turtles out for my father-in-law. Went to Christmas Eve Mass, came back, and Leia had eaten all of the dark chocolate turtles. To which the vet said, "Oh my God, how is she still alive?" And I said, "I don't know, you tell me." Brought her in, and she puked it up and was fine. So we know her threshold. It's about 7 chicken wings and a pound of dark chocolate.
Oh, John, those are the stories that you're going to tell when you are old and gray.
Yeah, I'm going to tell them now, too.
Addison Sinclair, a couple times up and down the court there. Great rebound. Coming in this game and providing a little bit of a spark is the junior. Layla Jones misses her foul shot. Well, John, all of a sudden it's a 28-point game.
Yeah, this really has ballooned here a little bit. Really, Wilson has just been converting. It seems like every opportunity here. I don't think the Lady Bears are doing anything different as far as their effort or their spacing on offense or their execution rather. They've gotten a couple of shots, just haven't made them. Weaver had a three-pointer and a layup that just kind of rimmed out, put those 5 points up there. It makes it a little bit better, but. Wilson, like we said, is a solid record coming in, solid team. The Lady Bears are in that youth stage right now, so you expect games like this sometimes.
Certainly, I think you're hitting the nail on the head there. Just Wilson's able to convert, and Boyertown has not been. See what they can do here in this half-court set. About a minute left to go. Weaver is going to get called for a walk as she kind of rolled over there with possession.
As you're looking at the Lady Bears, strengths, I would say they have some girls that can shoot. I would say that I think that they are pretty much in the right position when it comes to their offensive sets in a half court. They're in the right spots. They look to make the right cuts. I would say that dribbling in space is something that the Lady Bears have to work on a little bit, and without that. Point guard that Layla Jones, who can kind of beat anybody off the dribble. Without that kind of a player, it's tough sometimes to get into your offensive sets, and that's not a knock against any of these Lady Bears. They all have their distinct strengths. It's just they're kind of missing that ball handler, So you're kind of hoping that Coach Sweisfert and the staff are kind of developing that throughout the course of the year and the summer, and you hope you come back next year and you have somebody who can take the reins.
Lady Bears with some great defense on the opposite end. Under 10 to go here. See if they can get one more stop. There's a walk or stepped out of bounds. Either one works. Boyertown will get the ball back. 5.2 to go. Lady Bears looking for their first points of the quarter. Looks like they're going to try to get into Weaver's hands. Oh, nice look inside. Unable to hold on to it. Point 8. Probably can't go full court in high school basketball on point 8. This is a catch and a shoot, correct? Point 8? Point 3 is a tip.
What is it? Is it point 6,
I think point 7 is catch and shoot. Point 3 is tip. I believe. But either way, we're not gonna know the answer to that one here. So we're gonna go into the fourth quarter. Wilson 18-0 outscoring Boyertown that quarter. Again, as you said, able to balloon that lead.
18?
8 of them coming from Layla Jones.
Wasn't it 29-12 at the half here?
I'm sorry, 11.
There we go. Come on now.
I told you last time. I've been doing the math in my head 3 or 4 times. It takes me forever. 11.
We gotta get you some Common Core
yes, we do.
lessons here.
Anyway, you shake a stick at it. 11-18. Boyertown had 0, so it's going to be a tough road to hoe here the next 8 minutes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you're probably not looking at, hey, let's get this win right now. What you are looking at is here, let's execute something, right? Let's make a goal for ourselves right here. We're down right now, but hey, let's keep this 28-point lead where it is for the first 2 minutes. Let's try and get it down to 25 if we can, maybe halfway through. Let's see if we can get this, make this a game here in regards of just the fourth quarter. Let's see if we can keep steady with Wilson, and let's see if we can. Just play it here. Say this is the start of the game right now for us. What can we do here just the fourth quarter?
And John, in my defense, I was adding up totals for the game so far, and I had Layla Jones with 15 in the game, and then I looked down at the other 3 points that were scored. in the third quarter. So 15 plus 3 is 18. That's where the 18 came from.
Jim, as somebody who tries to explain dumb decisions all the time to anybody who will listen, no one cares. Like no one cares.
I just like to have the rationale about where it came from because I mean it's not like it was a 18 and ended up being 17. I mean 18 and 11
My
a huge
my
difference.
my poor grandmother called me today and said, I don't know why, but my outlets are not working in this room. I said, Mom, I got it. I went over there. I said, hey, your breaker was switched off. So I switched it on. Nothing happened, and I just couldn't figure it out. Somebody else came over and just found that there was another breaker that was just kind of slightly off. I didn't see it. It was slightly to the off position. They flicked it on. Everything was good. And I tried to explain to him. I said, well, like I was too focused on the other breaker because that's the one that was off. And and you know what they said?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You didn't fix it. I did.
Yeah, that's at least I had a more reasonable excuse.
Okay.
Nice look inside
Very
here.
nice look. Oh.
Cutting Weaver there, unable to convert. She's going to get it back. Kylie Evans steps in the way for Wilson. They're going to come the other way. Kind of like the $85 I spent for an electrician to come out and flick a switch because the emergency shutoff was turned in the off position. That's why my heat wouldn't work.
And that's, speaking of great stories to tell, that's a story that he or she that's a story that he is going to be able to tell at his New Year's Eve. Hey, easiest $85 I ever made. He's probably given your name and your address to his electrician buddies, and like, hey, listen, he has no clue what's going on. You get a call from him, you head out right away. It'll be a 5-minute fix. You can charge him whatever.
Pretty much. Ryan Lehman's going to go to the line here for Wilson, looking for her first points of the game. She's able to hit the first. And that's probably going to be it for starter Jocelyn Moncada as she exits the game. I do believe that's the last Wilson starter left on the court. And Coach Wyford's going to use his last timeout. No timeout left behind.
No timeout left behind. And this is good too. We still have, like we said, there's still an opportunity here for the Lady Bears to run some things that they're going to need here in the new year, to try to execute a little bit. They really haven't had much success anywhere below that first hash on the lane, right? I think is it all 3-pointers for them, Jim, so far?
Boyertown?
Yeah.
They've had one. Isla Greaves had a field goal.
Okay.
Field goal in the first quarter.
So they really have not had much success anywhere inside the lane. And just like we talked about, it's not like there's a player who's going to dribble drive past anybody just on this Lady Bears team. So I would like to see if they can maybe work something where they're getting those back screens like you had mentioned earlier. Can they get into that flexious swing set that they run? See if they can get a couple of ball reversals, keep setting those back screens, try to get something off that back screen or some sort of a down screen where they can curl off of that and just go to the baskets. Try to get something within that 6-7 foot range because they really haven't had many opportunities like that tonight.
All right, we'll see Lady Bears can do coming out of the timeout. Wilson still in their man-to-man. Sinclair's going to flash. A little bit of an opening there. She came a little higher, but we're going to set a screen and run an offense. Weaver was going back door. Haycock thought she could find her. Good hands from Sinclair. We're going to get a foul. And an out-of-bounds play for the Bulldogs. Two, three for Boyertown to start this fourth quarter, and that's going to work. Weaver's going to get a steal. Both of us need to work on our reaction. That's the second straight trip for the Lady Bears that they're able to, that they get a turnover on a good idea of a cut or a back door, just unable to get that communication down. Madeline Weaver gets tripped.
And that was a good decision by Weaver there to make that move at that moment. The Lady Bears had 2 ball reversals. Once that down screen is set, there is a moment. And in a flex set like this, we always like to run motion sets. There's not much of a pattern, and you kind of let your players be more kind of free with their movements. But if you run a flex offense because you think that's the best thing for your team, you just have to learn when that area opens up there. And right there it did. That down screen is set, and Weaver had that left-handed move, which she took it. She got fouled just like Haycock did right there. So, again, you're leaving your players in at this moment right now so they can see these things. It's one thing seeing it in practice. It's a whole other thing seeing it in game action.
We'll see if this ends up being a Weaver 3-time. No, it's going to be Sinclair wide open at the low block, unable to get that one to fall. I think she was a little bit too surprised at how wide open she was. There, Weaver does a great job of anticipating that pass. Puts up the first 2 of the second half here for Boyertown. And there's a foul by Sinclair. And that's going to send Kaylani Hardy to the line.
Take this moment now to recognize. Can you see him on the? I don't know if you can see him on the camera, but former Boyertown basketball and baseball standout Tyler Bauman in attendance tonight. Tough to see. He's right above the screen level over there on the other side of the floor, supporting all the other Baumans who are assistant coaching right now with the Lady Bears. But Ty, a good basketball player in his own right, had a nice shot. Had a good handle, was a 4-year player for us, and also I believe won at least one PAC title as a pitcher on the baseball team.
Beautiful. And here comes the late game 100% effort from the Lady Bears, as they are absolutely not letting this one go away. Another 3-point attempt from Weaver from the corner. No good. There's an offensive rebound from Weaver. There's
How
a
did that
beautiful
happen?
look.
Ooh.
Very, very nicely done, Madeline Weaver.
You see Madeline and Callie Weaver kind of smiling about that, but that's, you figure things out just by playing with different combinations of players, and you figure out where people are going to be. And my gosh, if you're able to have that sort of sense of where your teammate is going to be on that play, who's to say you can't figure it out for anything else on the floor? So this is the type of situation where you're learning about your teammates and where they want to be, where that's what their strengths are, what they like to do, don't like to do, so you can help put them in the best situation for them. So it's all learning, Jim. It's all learning.
Wilson able to do the same thing, getting some work for Kylie Evans, able to put in 2. Callie Weber is going to go to the line to shoot 2. Coach Schweifert goes to his bench. 44.3 left to go here in this game. Oh, great offensive rebound.
Ugh.
Sinclair inside.
She, and even in the Fleetwood game, Sinclair just has a knack for being around the boards and grabbing defensive and offensive boards. Like we can get her finishing on the other end. Watch out.
She's had a very nice game off the bench here for the Lady Bears as Hardy puts in 2 more. She's got 7 tonight. And that last second layup is going to do it. So the Lady Bears with a rough one here tonight. 51-17 fall to a very young but very talented Wilson Bulldog team.
Yeah, you're kind of interested to see where they end up. The Wilson Bulldogs, that is, in this year. If they're coming into this game with the kind of record that they have, they obviously are in first or second place right now in their division. I can't recall who won Berks last year. If it was, it might have been Wilson. They just might have graduated a lot. I'm not sure, but they always have a tough division that they play in. You got Mifflin, you got Reading, you have. Berks Catholic always seems to be involved some way or the other with the boys and the girls. So, good luck to them the rest of the season. And for the Lady Bears, we had mentioned this earlier that this might not be a season where you're looking at the calendar and circling Springford and Perk Valley and saying, hey, we're taking these games. But what you're looking for is where can we improve? What are our deficiencies maybe at the start of the season? What can we, help these girls individually get better with? And what can we do to help kind of tweak our system to make sure that they can be as successful as possible? And that's kind of the goal. I'm sure for Coach Schweifert and his staff right now, kind of taking stock in what players he has and what strengths they have and what they can do to help each one. It's we always got into this conversation as coaches. How much of our practice time should be system oriented and how much just individual development? So hopefully Coach Schweifert and his staff are striking that balance and. I would say certainly there with the effort these girls give, and like I said, I believe that they look to be in the right spot, as if they are kind of listening to what the coaches need from them and getting to the areas that they have to be. So if they got that part down, those two things, being in the right spot and effort, the rest should come, right? All the ball handling, the finishing, the passing, it should come. So interested and excited to see. What the Lady Bears can do from here.
Madeline Weaver with 11 of Boyertown, 17, 3 each from Greaves and Weber. Let's finish out the Lady Bears scoring. On the Bulldog side, Layla Jones led all scorers with 15, Violet Hauk with 10, and they're able to get points from 7 other players on the Bulldog roster. 2 from Moncada, 4 from Evans, 2 from Peacock. 6 from Crocona, 2 from Williams, 7 from Hardy, and 3 from Lehman. Again, that is the Marvel Avengers notebook. It is not official. And, John, I have one more game.
Oh, jeez.
One more game in the notebook.
Do you have the next notebook picked out, Jim?
I don't, not yet. Not yet, but, it's going to be this young kid. Let's go back to the very first page. Let me find, this is the Boyertown Lady Bears.
Okay.
Was the first game. Starting lineup of junior Maddie Connick, sophomore Carly Schweitzer, senior Michaela Moyer, junior Emma Smith, and senior Ashley Kapp.
2019, maybe?
On the boys' side, we had Eric Salata, Trey DeGuglielmo, David Lay, Christian Reniger, and Griffin Hummel.
Yeah, that's
on the boys' side.
That's 19 or 20. right there. Holy moly.
So end of an era.
End of an
Coming
era.
up next week. We'll see you on Tuesday and no, not Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday and Friday here for girls and boys action. In the meantime, you have yourselves a safe and happy New Year, and we'll see you next time here on the NFHS Network. Good night, everyone.